Thank you, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here. I love positive psychology. My goal today is to share a little bit of what I'm passionate about, what I know, and what I know changes lives. What we've found in the science of positive psychology, which has really only been around for about 15 years, is that a little bit of knowledge is a game changer in people's lives. What you find when you hear a little bit about the science of flourishing and what happy people do and what they do differently from other people, you find you can't unring the bell. You can't not hear what you've just heard. And so this is why when Harvard had this class in 2004, 2005, 2006 at Harvard, it became the most oversubscribed class in the history of Harvard. So they started with 40 people, word spread that it was a life-changing class, and it was really just the science of happiness. And then it was 400 people. The next thing you know, it was 800 people, and it maxed out at enrollment. And the reason why is because once you know a little bit of this, you begin to sift through your own life experience, and you begin to ask yourself, well, do I have 4 friends? Do I wake up every day to really difficult goals? Do I have gratitude as one of my #1 strengths? So I went to Penn about 10 years ago this weekend, actually. I started in the first class at University of Pennsylvania, first master's program in the science of happiness, also known as positive psychology. And I have to say, I went in thinking I was going to get this education and thinking I knew what I was going to come out with, because I'm also a coach and I really wanted to bring the science of well-being into my work. But I came out different. And that's what people find is I came out a different woman. I came out a different wife, a different mother, a different friend. Just about everything about me underwent a huge shift simply because I'd been exposed now to what does it take to really live a high-quality life. And so my next book is about the science of grit. So how many of you have heard of the word grit? A few of you. Actually, I think most people have heard the word. It's a little bit overused. If you pick up the Washington Post sports section, everyone has grit. The Redskins don't have grit. That's a problem. And apparently the Nats don't either, so I'm ready to go adopt other teams somewhere. But grit has been kind of overused as a word for heart or kind of resilience in some ways, but what it really is this very, very special secret sauce that is now considered the secret to success. And so I'm fascinated by it. Now, I want to walk you through a little bit of how we got to a society right now that really doesn't have grit and how crippling it is in the workplace, but also how women have to have more. Women have to have more. In fact, your grit score is the predictor of whether or not you make partner at a law firm. And my guess is it's also the predictor of who makes it in just about any challenging firm that could be male-dominated. So there's a lot we're still learning about it, and I'm absolutely transfixed by the research. So I'm going to share with you a few things. One is I'm going to walk you through the life cycle of a millennial. How many of you are millennials? 19 to 35, about. Okay. Because one of the things we're finding is that that particular generation has had I don't know what happened here. Okay, so has had a lot of the parameters for what is difficult stripped out, and you'll see what I'm talking about as I go through this, because I have 3 millennials as children, and I've been astonished to watch the things stripped out of their lives as they've gotten older. So I want to talk about what has that done to the workplace, and what has that done to us as a society, and those of you who are raising children, you know, what is it that maybe we can all do a little bit differently to cultivate more grit in ourselves and in the communities and in the environments in which we live and work, because it really does make a difference. So first thing, how many of you think kids are over-trophied and given too many